All right. Anyway, so let's continue on. So we can do an update. We could also update multiple things. We could say update test update test one, right? Set zip equal to, now she moved to Chicago, 66659, and she wants Condi Rice to be, she wants to stand on formality here. So, whoops, I have to say what's I'm changing. Name is equal to Condi Rice, where I'll say ID is equal to 3. Although, believe it or not, I could even say where name was equal to Condi. I'll say where name is equal to. All right. Now, I'm going to say select all from test 1 where ID is equal to 3. And I can see the data has changed. Okay. So the update allows me to insert and change values. I'm sorry, I said insert, but it allows me to change values that are currently already in my table. Insert is used to put new data in. Update is used to change the data that's there. The only other thing we really need to worry about as far as working with databases then is deleting records, deleting records in a database or in a table, to be specific. All right, so once again, the command to do that is delete from test1, or whatever the name of your table is. Okay. Here is where it's absolutely critical you have a where clause, because if I say delete from test1 and I hit enter right now, well, semicolon and enter, it'll do exactly what I asked it to do. Exactly. It'll delete everything. Not exactly what I want to have happen, so I want to put in a where clause. Where ID, I'll change it, I'll use name. Where name is equal to Joe. Alright, hit enter. And now let's do a search. Let's do a select all from test 1 where name is equal to Joe. And there aren't any. We get back the empty set. Okay, and if we just look and see what we have, select all from test 1. Now we have 3 records. We deleted the 4th one, solely on the basis of specifying delete when name was equal to Joe. All right, there are numerous, we're really just absolutely scratching the surface here. There are numerous qualifiers and clauses and operators that can be used. You can search for strings in between two values or numbers in between two values, or use something called a soundx function, which tries to determine if, well, it would be pronounced that way, with some degree of success. So there's a great deal of flexibility that actually comes with using SQL to query and manipulate data in a relational database. We're just, as I say, scratching the surface, but these are essentially the commands that you're going to need to complete the project and get started on your own, maybe doing some either MySQL/PHP, often called LAMP for Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. And there's also the equivalent WAMP for Windows, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. If you want to do that kind of development. Very popular, probably the most current and most prevalent type of web development in the world. Okay, we'll just check one more time, see what kind of tables we have. Show tables. All right, and we have 2. We don't need test 1, so we're going to drop the table. Drop table. Test 1. Okay, and if we do a show tables again, it's gone. Now, recovery is problematic at this point. Although Oracle, with their latest editions, have introduced a recycling bin. speaking as someone that's been working with databases for many years, I kind of find that slightly annoying, because one of the qualities that a DBA, I actually was one back in the mid 90s, but a database administrator has to have is absolute confidence that they know what they're doing. Because if in the good old days, when you said delete or drop, as the case might be, getting the data back was relatively hard. Yes, there are transaction logs. Yes, there are ways of doing it, but it's not a trivial thing. It's not, at the time, was nothing like moving something in and out of a recycling bin. Evidently today it is. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I'm not really sure. The traditionalist in me says, well, it's probably not a good idea, but yeah, for practical reasons, people make mistakes, maybe it is. Anyway, that's not present in MySQL 4, and I, quite frankly, don't make any effort to back up these databases. If you do have any trouble, you can simply recreate them. We're dealing with very small data sets here. Alright, so we could talk about how to copy off your data and things of that nature, but that would be a discussion for another time. Alright, so I hope that this has been enough information for you to get some sense of, again, how MySQL worked. We looked at this before in class. I said that I would make a short little video explaining this, and here it is. I'll try also to put a little bit of information up about either SSH, which quite frankly I'd recommend you use, or PuTTY if you prefer, and for those of you in the Windows world. Of course, I use my main machine is an Apple, and I use OS 10, and of course that's basically a layer over top of free BSD, which is Berkeley System Distribution. So Apples are built over top of Unix. It's a wonderful operating system, very robust, very solid. All right, so hope this answers your questions, and if not, well, we'll charge ahead in class. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you soon.